What's up? It's your boy Carcino. Let's get into it, man. This is a weird one. But anything that's involving this guy has got to be weird, right? This is the truth behind the beef between LL Cool J and DMX. Now, first off, if you ask both of them, they'd be like, no, I'm cool with him. That's my guy. But the problem insisted from a long time ago. But let's bring you back up to date from the beginning. Now, when LL Cool J was re-emerging his name back into hip-hop for like the third time, they decided to go in a different avenue. They said it was actually LL's decision that I want to go with a more introspective type album to more to what's going on out here in the field today with what Puffy is doing with Bad Boy Records. So when he came out with on the Flavor in Your Ear remix, you know, he took the hat off. He's wearing like visors now. He's not the same LL anymore as he used to be. And this was the first time like anybody ever seen LL Cool J take his hat off. Like LL Cool J was known for not taking his hat off. A lot of people that's younger might not understand that or know it. But LL Cool J was known. You would never see him without a hat. Ever. Until that video. When they did Flavor in Your Ear, and then he shows his head at the end of his verse when he wipes his head. Because at that point, he was like, I'm at my last run, so let me just go ahead and do this in case I don't get another go at it. I'm just going to wipe, the surprise is up. So, after that, the Mr. Smith album with Boyz II Men, the song Hey Lover took off and became a mega hit. The whole album is different, but they needed that rugged sound, that street element to bring the hardcore fans into the album. Like, okay, maybe we got something here on the album that's going to really be something. You know, it's not going to be just this smoothed out R&B stuff. So, what he did on the Mr. Smith album, they put out an album song called 4321. And at that time, the How High song had took off with Redman and Method Man and how they flowed with each other. And LL loved that, you know, and Def Jam loved it because they were both Def Jam artists. And LL was like, oh, cool, you know, and Lear was like, and there's this other guy I want to put in the group. Like, Lear was so excited about putting DMX on the record because he was so high on DMX because he saw DMX battle live. And he signed DMX on the spot. So when DMX got there, he was, man, this guy beat out 30 other rappers. Like, there was no other rapper that could stand next to him. That's how devastating this guy was lyrically. And just his energy. So LL was like, okay, cool, you know, like, let me meet this guy. So they set up a meeting. He met DMX, like, while they were working on the song and everything, and LL kind of came over and told him, like, you know, well, you know who I am, and blah, 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 blah. And X was cool. You know, everything was love, and everything was, like, appreciative, and everybody's doing their verse, and it was just the four of them. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. Redman, Method Man, DMX, and LL Cannabis was somebody that used to come around and battle, just go, not battle, but use cipher, get into ciphers with Redman and all them. So they knew Cannabis. And when they was like, oh, he's the new hot young kid on the record, and they wanted to keep adding people to the record, and that's why Cannabis wasn't even supposed to be on the record anyway. 4321 was LL Cool J, DMX, and what's his name? And Redman and Method Man. Cannabis was never supposed to be on it. So when they injected Cannabis into the record on 4321, and of course all the drama ensued, DMX and Cannabis was cool. At that time. So everybody was like, man, like, they didn't get involved. Redman and Method Man was like, no, this kid wasn't trying to attack you like that. Like, LL was the only one that really thought that, but no, that wasn't the case. So DMX and the song, everything's a hit, and DMX's what's that, Money, Power, Respect, he's coming up in the game. And during this time period, like in this frame of the same year, his album is getting ready to come out. Cannabis album is coming out. And while the albums are getting ready to come out, DMX is there and he's around Cannabis. And Cannabis is out here ripping LL Cool J on second round knockout. And, he's sitting there and X is bobbing his head to it like, ooh, like, man, you getting him. Like, he knew he was going at LL, but X didn't like LL's demeanor. Like, he'd be like, oh, what's up? Then as soon as LL leave, he'd be like, see, this is why I can't stand him. I don't like niggas like that. He think he bigger than everybody in the room. Is that kind of fake shit. And maybe, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a good dude. Don't get me wrong. But, you know what I'm saying, right? Okay. So, when X is doing that, X just had a certain way. He never vibed with LL like that. He respected him as an MC, but when everything's done, he just couldn't vibe with it. L tried to connect with him, and it didn't work. So, X blows up. X's first album goes through the roof. His second album is through the roof. So everybody's talking about DMX. They're going to work with him. So Jay-Z did this track with him on his album because they was cool with Irv Gotti and all that. So LL's album is coming out, and they was like, well, this is good. We got a new LL album coming out, and they had recorded a song called Forget About It for LL's album. And it was when X is like, he wanted DMX to put his lyrics first on the record, and then LL was going to do his later because LL was busy, which X didn't have a problem with. So X is like, you see what I'm saying? This dude, man, it's no respect. He ain't the man no more. I'm the man right now. But he still, comes in the room, does his thing. I ain't mad at him. I understand. He been in the game a long time. I'm gonna do the song. So he was gonna do the song. X didn't do the song. Meth and Red, they all did their thing right there together. With LL. There's no DMX there. DMX added his verse later after everybody did the song. So L didn't even know X was gonna be on the song anymore. And then they put DMX on the song later, which pissed LL off. Because LL was supposed to have final rights to that. And this is the same thing he had a problem with 4321, which I'll do the Cannabis thing later. So we'll go into that whole situation there. But LL wasn't happy with how that went. Because Def Jam had too much control and say into it. And in this instance again, Def Jam inserted DMX again when LL was like, hey, you know, like, we thought he wasn't gonna do the record. We told him to do the record. He said he's gonna do it in that time. Then he did it at the end. Just let me know, you know, the record comes out and it's completed. It's going in for mastering, and then it's DMX and everything in there. So it's a different situation. But the problem is everybody was cool, you know, they'll do the performance and everything. But as far as for promotion for the song, and they were gonna do a video, and X just wasn't feeling it, and man, it was just a big old mess. Okay, that one became a big mess because of egos. LL ego is basically, he has one, but it's because he's been in the game so long. He's got over 20 years in the game. So when he he's talking to you as, I'm giving you something, jewels, so you can use to better your life. But when you 21, 22, and you got all this money, you got hit records, you ain't trying to hear nothing from nobody else. You trying to say, man, I'm right now bigger than you. So what can you tell me? You know, so the attitude is different. The respect level is different. It's, now you gotta respect me. I just sold these many records. And, you know, LL attitude is like, nah. You know, it's like, look, I'm trying to tell you so you can have 16 years in the game. Like, L give everybody jewels. Like, if you want to take them, you can take them and move on. And he's very into education of people. Is, you know, that's how L is. You know, like, he loved Method Man and Redman, and Method Man is the closest one to him as far as like a mentor. Like, Method Man is like his biggest fan. A lot of people don't know that. Method Man patterned his rap style basically to LL Cool J. That was his biggest. He had the LL Cool J posters on the wall. So Meth was like, this is like an accomplishment, like to be able to work. Like, this is monumental for him to be able to work with LL Cool J. You know, he relished in that moment where X didn't care. You know, and you can't make DMX care about stuff like that. The things that artists cared about, DMX didn't care about for 1 minute. To him, that's work. You know, and L's trying to help him. Like, man, I'm trying to give him jewels that's going to help him have 16 years. And so what he was looking at and thought L was being just phony and all this stuff, L was really just trying to help him out. And L always come in with the, you a funny cat. You a funny cat. But what I'm trying to do is, I want to elevate, like, hip-hop in general. I want to elevate the next LL Cool J. That's LL to the T. He's looking for the next LL. And from that point, we'll go right into the cannabis one. So I'm going to wrap this up, because nothing ever came out of it. They don't deal with each other to this day. But, you know, if they talk to each other, it'd be a respect thing. But they just couldn't vibe. Not like Meth and Red. As you can see, this entirely different vibe. And we'll talk about that later on the next video.